the big news today was the new iPhone. It's officially called the iPhone 7, and of course, there's a larger version called the iPhone 7 Plus. Everyone is talking about the loss of the headphone jack and that fancy new camera, and we will get to that in a minute, but here are the basics about the phone. The device has the longest battery life of any iPhone yet, which is saying a lot because my iPhone 6S easily makes it through the day without charging. And what more can you ask for besides that? I don't know. It also has 25% more brightness, and gone is the mechanical home button. It's been replaced with a touch feedback sort of fake button. It's got a Taptic engine like the new MacBook trackpads. The phone is also water and dust resistant. The iPhone 7 starts at $649. That's 649 big ones. And the iPhone 7 Plus starts at $749. Allison, what are your initial thoughts on the iPhone 7?
I'm pretty excited about it. Well, of course I am. I was going to buy it anyway. But one of my goals is to be as cool as you. So I'm going to go for the 7 Plus. And we haven't gotten into all the reasons about that yet. I know we're going to talk about that in a minute. Something I don't think people take into account, the brightness, the importance to people who are perhaps over the age of 40. A brighter phone allows your pupils to contract, which means you can see better. So if the phone is brighter, I can see the letters on the screen. So that's actually a big thing beyond just being able to look at it outside, which is one of the things they pushed. A lot of people suspected that the iPhone was actually already water resistant because a lot of people were having trouble with the 6S. So that's kind of cool, though, that they're saying, yeah, it is now water resistant. Battery life, I've got a lot of iPhone 6s in the family, myself and my 2 kids. All 3 of us have had our iPhone 6s suddenly have battery problems in the last 6 months. I convinced Apple to replace mine, but my kids have not been successful convincing Apple to replace theirs. But it's like it just suddenly drops to 0. It'll be at 20%, go to 0. And their diagnostics say there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, their diagnostics say it's time for you to buy a new iPhone. Here's one we'll show you right now.
No, isn't that perfect timing?
Yeah, there you go. Well, apparently if you erase the phone and throw away all your data, like your watch data and everything, it'll be fine. But I don't want to do that. So
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm excited. It is going to cost a grip, though, for that big one. That's going to set me back a little bit.
They always do. And it's the premium line, so you kind of expect that, to have to pay that extra premium for some of those extra features. I like that they've got the dual speakers on the front. That is definitely a feature, at least on the Android side, that once you get kind of used to having that, it's hard to go back to a device that has a single feature. So having kind of the stereo speaker separation, I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but it actually does help. It does improve the scenario.
Jason, on that point, when they did that with the iPad Pro, it caused something very interesting in our house. We use the iPad Pro as our TV. We walk around the house with it and watch, of course, you guys. And what we found was we stopped using our Jambox. We used to have my old iPad, we would hook up to the Jambox to get it loud enough, and now the iPad Pro speakers are good enough and high enough fidelity that we don't use the Jambox anymore.
I mean, you're not necessarily using them to get insane bass resonance or bass response, but if it does the trick for the specific use case that you have, for me, it's the fact that the stereo is still broken in my car. So if I want to listen to anything, it has to be through the device speakers. I don't like putting headphones on while I'm driving. I think that's probably illegal, so I don't do that. So having nice speakers, it was never an important to me before, but then our stereos broke, and now suddenly it's very important, and I actually find value in that. So really, if not using the Jambox is replaced by using something that has speakers that are good enough for the task, then that's great. It's a good alternative.
Absolutely. So there's another new thing about this phone. There will be no 16 gigabyte version. So you can say goodbye to that essentially useless sized phone in the iPhone 7, at least. I posted that on Twitter because I was so excited about it. And someone pointed out that the iPhone SE still has the 16 gigabyte version. So the small one, which I think is used often in the enterprise. Like that's what I've read, that they would keep the 16 gigabyte version because people use them in the enterprise, and probably those small versions. They're not, getting the piano black, shiny, glossy phones and handing them out to all their workers yet. So you can order at $9.9 and available $9.16. Although, of course, just like the pink one it took a while longer. I think there'll be certain models that shiny black one, which apparently we've heard scratches easily, but that will be hard to get.
Piano black.
I think
That's if you can see past the fingerprints, right?
right.
Yeah, I'm curious to know
Cover the
how
scratches
much of a fingerprint
Yeah.
smudgy device it is.
Want
One
to
thing,
get that one and then put an OtterBox on it, right?
well, that's exactly what most people do, right? They get this amazing looking phone and then they slap this really ugly case on it because that makes it more durable. So that's, I suppose take that into consideration. One thing I'm very interested in is the A10 Fusion chip that's inside. This is it's by all accounts it's a beast. It's a new quad core design for Apple, 2 cores for high performance, 2 cores for high efficiency processing, and the high efficiency means essentially 1/5 of the power of the other 2 cores. And we've seen this in other SoCs like the Snapdragon 820 has this kind of multifaceted, multi-core design. But this is right here is at the core, no pun intended, of Apple's claim of longest battery life. It's just way more efficient, and I have a feeling this phone's going to be screaming.
Did I understand correctly that they also said that the GPU was going to be 4 cores? I wrote that in my notes. That's insanity.
I mean, I saw an improvement in the GPU. I didn't know if it was a 4-core GPU as well. I missed that specific.
Yeah, the first thing I think he said, the A10. Oh wait, the A10 Fusion chip. That's okay. No. He said 6 core is what I wrote down. I might be making this up. We should check my facts. It's got a lot of cores, but whatever it was an impressive number of cores.
Yeah.
I will see if I can find that so I don't sound like an idiot.
More than just your standard Apple, in other words.